Hey guys, in today's video, I would like to share with you 3 tips to turn your website visitors into paying clients. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather and I am from thebookedphotographer.com. Every single week, I put out content to help photographers like you confidently attract new clients, book them consistently, and grow their photography businesses. So whether if you're brand new or if you've been in the industry for a while, if you want to become fully booked, be sure to click the subscribe button that you see below. All right, so let's dive in and talk about 3 ways that you can turn more of your website visitors into paying photography clients. But before I share with you those 3 tips, I first want to share with you why I chose these 3 tips. You see, last year, my family, we went on our very first family vacation. We traveled from Northern Virginia all the way down to Orlando, Florida, and we spent the week at Disney. It was an absolute blast. Now, prior to actually heading down to Disney, I actually hopped online and I wanted to do some research and actually hire a photographer in Orlando who could photograph my family portraits while we were away on vacation. Now, this is something that I actually do every single year in my business. So I am like a photographer's ideal client. I make a point to invest in family portraits every single year. I don't just trade. I actually hire another photographer. I see the value in having my family portraits captured every single year. And depending on the photographer, I plan to invest a few hundred or a few $1,000s in order to do so. And I'm happy to because I want those images. But last year, when I was looking for a photographer for our family vacation, I actually had quite a bit of trouble finding one. This really wasn't an easy process for me at all. I scoured the internet. I looked at dozens and dozens of photography websites. And even though so many photographers had such beautiful work and gorgeous images, they failed to get an inquiry from me because they lacked the tips that I am going to be sharing with you today in this video. And unfortunately for those photographers, they missed out on booking a client who was ready and willing to spend money because their website was missing some very key elements to make it easy for somebody to hire you. And that's what I want to share with you today because these mistakes happen so often. And to be perfectly honest, these mistakes on these websites totally deterred me from reaching out to these photographers even though their work was beautiful. So let me go ahead and share with you 3 tips to change ASAP on your website so that you can turn more visitors into paying clients. Tip number 1 is to have a specified page for each and every genre you photograph. If you photograph multiple genres, like many of us do not have it all on one page. Brides could care less about new moms. A high school senior could care less about newborn photography. When you do this, it actually causes confusion in your potential client's mind. And when you cause confusion, they'll always say no. They'll click right off your website. Instead, I suggest creating a landing page. This is where you can showcase with one image each genre you photograph. And when your visitor clicks on that one image, it takes them to another page that is specifically geared to that one client type. So let's just say, for example, you photograph seniors and weddings. On your landing page, you have 2 images, one of a senior and one of a bride, and your visitor can choose which option to take. If she clicks the senior one, she's then taken to a page that is all about seniors and what they need to know. If she clicks on the bride, she's taken to a page that is all about weddings and brides and nothing else but that. Doing this will make it super easy and super user-friendly for your website visitor to direct their experience on your website. And they're not hammered with all this information that they simply do not need to know. Let's move on to tip number 2, which is to only show one offer. When I was looking for a photographer to hire on our family vacation, I was so confused by all the offers that I saw on a single page. There was one site that actually had 7 different session types and 7 different price points, and that was so confusing for me. And I am actually in this industry and do it for a living. If you want your website to actually encourage inquiries, if you want people to actually reach out to you and ask about a photo shoot, then you have to make it simple. Offering anything more than 1, maybe 2 offers is too much. What you can do instead is to give basic information, basic pricing information, basic process information for your prospect. This will allow them to see whether or not you're within their budget, and if so, they'll reach out to you for more information. Now, if you offer multiple collections, that's not a bad thing at all. But I believe it's our job as the photographer to build a relationship with our clients first, and then to suggest to them which offer fits them best based on their particular needs. And you can only do that after you learn about your client and after you spend time talking with them. So stop having multiple sessions and multiple price points all over your page. It's too confusing and it's a total deterrent. I clicked out of probably 3, maybe 4 websites, not because their work wasn't good, but because their offer was so confusing and I didn't know where I fit in. So I encourage you to go ahead and check out your website right now. Do you have multiple offers or maybe multiple price points all on one page? Is it too many? Do you think it might cause confusion among your website visitor? What can you scale back on? How can you maybe show less information but still be informative and encourage somebody to reach out to you to get more information? All right, so finally we are on tip number 3, and that is to display your contact information on every single page. Now, there was one photographer that I was actually really interested in hiring for my family portraits for my last year's family vacation. But here's the thing, I found her on Instagram and she didn't have any contact information laid out at all. In fact, her Instagram link took me to an online gallery that didn't even have anything to do with how I needed to reach out to her. So even though her work was stunning, there was literally no way for me to reach out to her and inquire about her services. Sure, I could send an Instagram DM, but that's kind of unprofessional. And we know that if you're not followers on Instagram, it goes into the other inbox, and sometimes you just don't see it for days or weeks on end. So that photographer totally missed out on booking me as a client, even though I wanted to, simply because she did not share a way for me to reach out with her. And it's sad to say, but that photographer wasn't the only one that I noticed this problem on. So look at your website. Do you have your location posted on there? Do you have your email, your phone number? Can people who are looking for a photographer clearly see where you are located and what areas you provide service to? You can even take this one step a little bit further and also include your location and also your contact information within your email signature. When I was looking for a photographer for those family pictures, I reached out to dozens of photographers and I emailed a whole bunch. But when I started to hear back from a few of them, I kind of lost track of who was what. So many of them did not have a professional email signature with their name, with their website. So I completely forgot about who they were or what their website was, and I couldn't refresh my memory on what their work actually looked like. Not having that email signature made it really difficult for me as a potential client to actually want to book them, because it was just, again, too confusing and I couldn't refresh my memory. So here's what I suggest you do instead. When somebody inquires with you, go ahead and copy their inquiry and put it beneath your response to them. Create some sort of an email trail, and that way it will refresh both yours and their mind about how they found you and about what you've talked about already. So I know this website topic is such a big one, and these 3 tips, although they're good, they barely scratch the surface. So if you would like another great resource and free resource on how you can build a beautiful, irresistible photography website that converts, go ahead and check out the description box below. I'm going to be linking a special training that I did with Luis over at Solopreneur Sidekick, all about websites and what you need to have on yours so that you can book more clients. Now, this training is limited, so do not wait. Go ahead and click that link that you see in the description box and watch the limited replay. All right, guys, so there you have it. 3 tips to turn your website inquiries into paying clients. Go ahead, let me know in the comment section below what tip you like the most. Or if you have another photography or business-related question, go ahead and post that too, and I might just answer your question on a future video. And also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon.